What's up, YouTube? So I appreciate everyone's comments for everything that I publish. So April and I are out here in Petersburg. Where are we?
I don't know what town we're in.
Nottingham, PA.
It's the Nottingham exit, so I'm assuming that's the town.
Oh, we're Peach Bottom, Pennsylvania. So we're out to our handy dandy secret gold prospecting spot. So there was a guy who gave me 4 call outs on YouTube, and he didn't want it videoed. So if we raced, he didn't want any videos of his race. So he had a 600 horsepower Camaro, and then he had a Hellcat red eye, I don't know, purple eye, blue eye, green eye, who cares what, all-wheel drive Hellcat, makes 800-ish horsepower in his 5,000 pound vehicle or whatever it is. So 800 horsepower in a 5,000 pound vehicle is pretty much like 600 to the tires when you have all that weight in math. And maybe not, it might be a little bit more. You know, that's why I say if you want to go fast, put your car on a diet. So big horsepower vehicles,
Put your car on diet?
yeah, big horsepower vehicles that weigh a lot are slow. But that's why they give them all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Makes them faster. So on an all-wheel drive vehicle versus a two-wheel drive vehicle is extremely unfair, especially when you're matching horsepower, right? You're matching horsepower levels, but you have one car that's two-wheel drive and one's all-wheel drive. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the all-wheel drive vehicle was 60 foot, much better on the street, and even much better at the track. But anyway, his 600 horsepower vehicle, he would like to race my car. That would be a no contest. You're way underpowered in your 69 Camaro, and 69 Camaros work. You need a little bit more horsepower to race a big power car like mine. And my car's not finished yet. Like, he's giving me a call. I'm not even done yet. Once I get it on the dyno, we'll post the numbers, and we're hoping on a conservative tune we'll reach 1,000 horsepower to the tires. And if we have more on the E85 air to water, we're going to wick it up to 1,200, and that motor will take it, and we don't have to worry about sending the rods through the block because it still won't be maxed out. I think 19 pounds will be the goal for 1,000 horsepower on E85, and hopefully we might be able to wring 1,200 out of it to the tires. And I'm on a 295 drag radial now on a 10-inch tire, and I won't disclose the gear ratio, but the car will mile an hour, and it'll 60 foot. But I do plan on going to a full slick 10 or 12 inch rim, but just for dyno purposes, that's what we're going to do. This is my street car with air conditioning and power steering. So I really would never even race a 600 horsepower car with my car. It's just, you're unevenly matched when you have 2 rear-wheel drive vehicles and one makes 400 to 500 horsepower more. But the street is the decider when you street race. When you go to the track, that's going to be a no contest. So then he was banging the keyboard about his Hellcat, his store purchased race car, to my home built car. And you can do all the research you want on LSG bodies that just sneeze 1,000 horsepower and run into 8s all day long. But would I race an all-wheel drive car with the same horsepower level on the street at the track? No way. That's stupid. I don't care how big anyone's wallet or balls are. That's just stupid. You want to try and have an opponent that's fairly close. I don't have anything to prove to anyone, so I could care less. Excuse me, but if you're going to race an all-wheel drive vehicle, he's got to give up some car lengths, and that's that. You just can't do it. It's like you want to race a guy that in track and field he has one leg and you have 2. Like, come on, that's stupid. So I wouldn't do it anyway. So I would never race an all-wheel drive car, and I don't care what the horsepower level is. And I've built some of the fastest Diamond Stars in the country back in the 90s when Diamond Stars weren't even fast, and Eagle Talons. And also had the fastest Turbo 2 RX-7 on a 8.5 inch small block Chevy swapped on nitrous. And we were running 9s back then. I'm talking almost 30 years ago.
Oh, it's a buggy.
And so I know, capabilities of an all-wheel drive car. So, like I said, this guy who's got a lot to say, and his 4 call-outs and they expire and all that shit, and he doesn't want to videotape the race.
He's got a lot to say on this video.
Yeah, that's okay. He can say what he wants. My point is, I wouldn't race an all-wheel drive car even at the track without him giving up car lengths. And that's just that. Just not. You're not going to punk a guy like me. I've been around too long, so it's just not a fair race. And even his Camaro wouldn't be a fair race. So I would race him. I would race him with my son's Tesla.
No.
I would race his Camaro with the Tesla. Tesla's fast.
I don't know if his is as fast as others.
I would do an 8th mile with the Tesla with him.
Really?
Yeah. Or we can just do the S.
I think an S would be faster than Ant's.
Yeah. I mean, it's got the same last name. So, I mean...
You're wording on shit
I can race him with either one of our Teslas. So, but 8th mile in my Tesla is 600 horsepower Camaro would never win anyway. So, just like our daily driver, he wouldn't. Right. So, but yeah. You seen the Plaids run
that was fast.
930s, 940s, right?
That was so fast. I couldn't believe what I was watching last night. And it went fast right from the rip, like.
Oh yeah.
Like that shit took off like a jet.
Yeah, you need an 850 car to race the Tesla Plaid.
That was fast.
He
pushed his
940 car.
You saw him?
940's out the box. It's fast.
You saw that guy push down on the gas and it went.
Right. So anyway, this guy who's got a lot to say, I don't think he was prepared to give an even race anyway. You want to talk about 800, 900 horsepower red eye or whatever his store-bought race car is. He would have to give up at least 4 cars to the G-body, and that would be only fair because it's just not a race at that point. So for TV purposes, it's a race. Follow me? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
So if you were like Street Outlaws and things like that, it would be good TV content. But this guy doesn't want to make a video, but I'm not doing that anyway. You have to give up cars for your Hellcat and your Red Eye all-wheel drive, whatever the case may be.
Oh, it's a pontoon.
But so that would be a hard no, either one of his cars to race.
Hard no.
But it's no secret that G-bodies, or like LS Swap G-bodies turbocharged, are some of the fastest and deadliest cars.
Yeah.
You've seen that guy race that one Hellcat on the street, and the Hellcat poured 4 cars on him right out the rip.
Yeah.
So they raced heads up, street race, which the guy who had the G-body had tons of balls, and the Hellcat was out on him at least 4 cars, and the G-body reeled him in and went past him on the street because the G-body can mile an hour. And the G-body was spinning the whole time.
Yeah.
So just imagine if the G-body was on a big tire, which he wasn't. My car will be a big tire car. Even with that guy on the street racing him, the G-body on big tire, I don't even know if he had a trans brake or not. Probably not. Couldn't really tell. But we saw the race, and we saw the Hellcat 60-foot him, which is normal for all-wheel drive car. And then the G-body drove right around him, spinning the tires all the way down the quarter mile. How about that? So, and I have to say it was probably LS swapped G-body. They didn't get into it. I forget, was that In the Cut? Was those guys?
I'm not sure.
Something like that. So yeah, even G-body on donks are deadly cars at the track. It's just crazy. You love how people just, like the guy with the Tesla Plaid saying, "Oh yeah, my $100,000 940 car, 9-second battery operated vehicle." But then if the Tesla Plaid was actually racing a real race car, right? So you just say 850 and faster, in my opinion, is pretty much a real race car nowadays. I mean, you buy cars that run in the nines, store bought. It's very hard for you to buy a store purchased vehicle that runs in the eights. So when these Tesla guys pick on these other cars, they should be picking on 850 cars.
Yeah.
But and that would be an 850 car. So they're running 940s, 930s, all-wheel drive at the track, basically with a full battery, and then against an consistent 850 car that just rips 850s all day long. We watched the 850 index race last night. Those guys were just clipping 850s, zip, 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 like they were turning on and off a light switch.
Yeah, that's cool to
So
watch too.
yeah, you can't do David and Goliath, right? Because David and Goliath is just, and probably makes good for the movies.
Like Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Fast and Furious kind of stuff, but I don't know. You guys tell me. And I'm not even ready for a race yet. So let me get on a dyno. And let me get on the street and shake it down a little bit.
Well, you didn't really want to do that kind of shit to this car.
I'm not a racer.
You said that you weren't going to do that kind of stuff. It was going to be your daily driver.
It is a
and
daily
that's it.
driver. It's my 1,000 horsepower daily driver.
Now you're letting these internet people.
No, I don't let anyone get under my skin. I'd like to just talk about what people have to say. And I'm not saying this guy's a good guy or a bad guy. If we were to ever even race, he'd have to give up cars in his all-wheel drive vehicle, which is the way that it is, right? You have to give up cars when you have an all-wheel drive vehicle versus a two-wheel drive vehicle. And to race a car that makes 400 horsepower or less just doesn't make sense to me, so I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even do it on a small tire. If I'm coming to the track, I want to come with my best traction, which would be my big tire. You guys let me know. Thanks for watching.